Hey everyone, hello developers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to build something absolutely incredible, a vibrant 3D login system that will blow your mind. Look at this beautiful interface with animated floating shapes and the glass morphism effect. This is a stunning 3D globe background. This isn't just a basic login form, it's completely user experience that user will love. By the end of this tutorial, you will have a fully functional login and sign up page system with the smooth animation and the form validation and the responsive design. Let's not delay and begin the coding part. So I'm going to open my VS Code and I have already created a file with .html extension. So the first thing what I'm going to do here is paste the standard HTML format of the code. So you can also copy it down from my from my screen. If you want, you can just pause the video and you can type it down. So this is the code where we have three different divs and a login form container. So here we have defined the floating shapes code for inside the div, and we have a login container which contains the username and the password and a button to submit. So that is what we have seen here. So we have a username or password and a sign in form, and we have the social icons, that is Facebook, Google and LinkedIn. The same thing I have coded using the HTML form. So once you are coded with this, just run and see whether your HTML form is running in your web app. You can just run it on your Chrome app and you can see the basic HTML structure is visible in your web app. Once you are done with this, so next we are going to begin with our CSS form, that is body styling. So once you are done with this, let's start with our body styling. You can just open a thing here, style, and close. Once you are done with this, open a tag as a style. Make sure it should be inside your head. So here I am using the same file for my HTML, CSS and JavaScript. If you want, you can use the different files as well. For my convenience, I am using the same style, same files. Okay, now let's proceed. So this is the basic body format what I am using. So you can save and you can run and you can go here. So since we have not given any colors, the screen has turned into black and some of the text aren't visible. So while going, you can see still we'll add some more stylings and these things will be formatted perfectly. So once you are done with this, let's go with the floating animation thing. Here comes a spectacular part of our floating shape that will blow the user's mind. Okay, where you have to paste this just below the background what you have mentioned here. Yeah, you can just copy it down. So you can see they are carefully crafted animated elements that create the depth and visual interest. So once you are done with this floating shape, we can just move towards the next. You can just go here, you can reload, but you cannot see the floating shape as of now because we haven't added the animation part. So once we had that, you will be able to see. So next we are going to add the glass morphism effect to our login container. So we have a login container and you had seen the glass morphism effect. So what we are going to do now, we are going to add that glass morphism effect to our login container. I have defined the login container and I have defined the positions and what and all is the required. So this glass morphism effect is created with the black drop filter, blur 10 pixels. So combined with the semi-transparent with white background, this creates that forecast glass look. So the container is perfectly centered. Using the transform translate trick on over, it lifts up slightly and gets a brighter glow. These micro interactions makes all the difference. This sign up container starts hidden and scaled down, ready for the smooth transition animations. This subtitle borders adds that extra touch to the elegance. So this is what we have coded here right now. So once you have done with this, you can just save, reload and you can open. So you can see there is a glass morphism effect which has already appeared on the screen. So you can just keep a track how this page web app will keep on changing as the code changes. So what and all we have done now? So the first thing is we added the basic HTML format and then we define 3 divs, that is floating shapes and our login container and our social login thing. So once you have completed this, we added the styles for our body, we added the styles for our background, and login containers glassmorphism effect. Once you have done with this, the next thing what we are going to do is header styling with gradient text. So you had seen there was a header with the styling with the gradient text. So now let's add that. What is this? So this is the gradient text effect. So once you are done with this, next to the keyframes, just paste the code next to the keyframes. After, in the next line of the keyframes, paste this code. What is this? This is the gradient text effects is pure eye candy. We create a 3-color gradient from hot pink to blue to cyan. Then use the background clip text to apply it only to the text. The text fill color transparent makes the text see through, the gradient shows through. The text shadow adds the subtitle glow that makes it pop against the dark background. This technical works in all modern browsers and create the futuristic looks. Okay, once you are done with this, just reload, come here and see. So this is the gradient text. You can see there is like pinkish blue and light blue coming in your welcome back format. That gives a very good look for your login page. So that is what we have coded here, that's called the gradient text effect. Okay, that we defined. And what's next? The form input styling. So there are inputs in our form, that is a username and password. So we have to style that, right? Definitely yes. So we are going with form input styles. I'll just paste my code here. What is this form input styles? So you can just copy it from the form groups. This is where we started our form input styles. So you can just code it down. Each of these form groups is positioned relatively, so our icons can be positioned absolutely inside them. These inputs have the same glassmorphism effect with semi-transparent background and the subtitle borders. On focus, the border brightness and will have a beautiful glow effect. These icons are positioned absolutely when an input is focused and the icon brightness and scales up slightly. These micro animations make the interface feel alive and responsive. This is what we have done. Once you have done this coding part is finished, just reload and just log in here. So you can see the input fields has been come. So for this also we are using the same glassmorphism effect. So only when you hover on it, there is the shining coming from the background. That's called the effect what we are using. For that we have coded. So what's next? What are we left out with? We are left out with button and social login styling. So you can see there is a button and there is a social login styling that aren't styled yet. So now we have already coded the HTML for that, but we have not coded the CSS. So let's begin for that. So what's next? We are going to do with button and the social login styling. Once you have done with this, I'll paste the code here. You can just copy it down. So where's from here, remember, forgot, from there you have to code. Okay, let's begin. This submit button is the star of the show. It has a gradient background that reverses on hover. So we are using 2 different colors. When you hover on it, the color swaps from front to back and back to front. That is the thing what we are doing here. We are using this linear gradient colors, that is pink and blue. You can use different colors as per your wish. That's not any mandatory. Okay, and then the social icons are perfectly placed in the circle with the same glassmorphism effect. So since we are going with the glassmorphism effect theme, for the icons also we are using the same. That makes the polished and professional for our social icons. So once you are done with this, you can just save this. You can just save the styling format and you can just reload the form and just come here. So once you can see here, so we are done with the text gradient thing, we have done with the input thing, and now we, as I mentioned, when I hover on the button, you can see there is a reverse gradient. The color changes from back to front and front to back. Okay, when you hover, this is the smart styling thing what we are using in our project, and this is the same glassmorphism effect for the social icons. So now next we have to proceed with responsive designs and media queries. We never forgot that mobile users. Let's make sure our stunning login page looks perfectly on every device. So you can this design is perfect only for the laptop but not for the phones. So whatever we create, it should be perfect for our phones as well, right? So we have to code for that. So how can we code for that? The responsive design part. Inside that only we will include the registration links as well, the codings for the registration link. So once you are done with that, you can just copy from the register link. Yeah, this is the part where we begin with the responsive design part. So you can just type it out from here. I'll give you some time. Until then I'll explain. This register link has some glowing hover effect we love. For the mobile devices, we adjust a container width to 90% and reduce the padding slightly. This ensures our beautiful login form fits perfectly on smaller screens while maintaining all the visual impact. Responsive design isn't just about making the things fit, it's about making them feel natural on every device. This is what we wanted, and then we save and we have to just run and see our web app. So once you are done, you can just open this in your Edge, Microsoft Edge, and check for different things. Open this here, yes, and okay, right click, inspect. In your inspect you will have something like this, and you have responsive. You can open with something like Samsung Galaxy. You can see it is showing in the phone format as well. So for the phone also it is fitting. So if you go with iPhone SE, it fits. So if you go with any other Samsung Galaxy S8, it fits. So for your mobile device also it is fitting perfectly. This is what the input needed. So we have done with that. So now let's proceed to the next. So now till here we have finished our login page thing. So what's pending? The sign up page. So when you click on register now, there is no links. It's not going to anywhere. It's not redirecting to any place. So now we'll start our sign up form HTML. So we haven't coded our HTML for sign up. So below this body you have to code the sign up form. So sign up form begins from here. Sign up form, initially it will be hidden, and then when you click on register it should show some transition and then it will open. So what and all we have in this sign up page? So we are coding with full name, email address, username, password, confirm password, and checkbox that I agree every terms and conditions of this company, so and so company, and then button for submitting. And we have given the social icons like Facebook, Google, and LinkedIn. You can add extra text if you want, like X, Twitter, or Instagram, etc. And then if you already have an account, we have given a link for sign in. That's what we have done with this sign up page HTML. So again, once you have done with this, just reload and come here and click on register now. So to move to the sign page, right? So for that we are adding the JavaScript. So let's start with adding the JavaScript and let's come back later to this code. Okay, now let's finish and come back later after adding the script format. So what's next? So we are adding the script for 3D background. So 3D background, what we have to add? We have to add a script. So once below this div, I am going to load the script. So here I am using the Three.js and the Vanta.js. So for that we have a globe script for the Vanta.js. What is this? This is a 3D animation platform where you can find, this is the Vanta.js. You can find the globe net cells. So once you open this, you will get the code for this. You can just use this, or if you are fine, you can copy it from my video as well. So I have used the net and Vanta.js part from here. Now once we are done with this, we are going to next the floating shape and JavaScript part. What is this? So here we have the script, and inside the script we have to define the floating shape and JavaScript part. What is this? The floating shape, what we had in initially, what we have defined in our this one, what we have defined in our HTML code. For that we are giving the life, so that it should float from bottom to up with rotating, so that we are focused on this. And this function is pure magic, where 30 random shapes with different sizes from 50 to 150 pixels, colors from our vibrate palette, and random stating position. Each shapes gets a random delay and duration, so they don't all the animate at once. The drift values create the horizontal movements. Some shape drift left and some right, creating the natural organic movement. This is what we have done. Once you have done with this, just reload the thing, and you can see there is the animation of shapes coming, and there is the background with the globe and the net. You can hover on it, and you can see the background effect is working. That we have used using the Three.js and the Vanta.js. So using that we have created this, and then let's proceed to the next for the form transition. So as I mentioned, so here the registration link is not working. For that we have to add the JavaScript part. So it should toggle from login to sign up and sign up to login. That is the main part. So once we are done with this, you can click on this, the sign up part will appear. So for that, let's add the code. So I hope you have completed this shape animation part and styling part for this. So now let's add the form transition, which helps us to toggle from login page to sign up page and sign up page to login page. So what I have done here, this is the code where this is the JavaScript code which helps us to toggle between the login page to sign up page and sign up page to login page. This creates a butter smooth transition between the forms. When switching, the current form fades out to the scales down slightly, then the new form fades in and scales up. This timeout creates the proper sequencing. We wait for the fade out to complete before showing a new form. The coolest part is we create 10 floating shape during each transition, adding visual flair that makes the transition feel alive and dynamic. So we have added the 10 floating shapes, so it shows in the beginning, that at the top when you log into or sign up. So that we have done. So once you have done, you can just save this and run, and then you can see we have not yet added the form interactions. We'll just see whether the link works. So you can see the link is working perfectly. So once we added this JavaScript code, our sign up page link got alive and it's working perfectly. So when I click on sign in, it again take me to the login page. So now we are left out with the part of form interactions. So what is form interactions? I'll explain it to you. So before that, let me add the code so that you can copy it down, and until then I can explain. So we are adding the form interactions. We are focused on class to form groups when the inputs are selected. This allows us to style the entire form group, adding the focus, not just the input. The blur event removes the class only if the input is empty, so fields with constants stay visually active. This creates more cohesive and polished user experience. So we have added this form interaction. When you click on any of the inputs or something, you can just reload this. It keeps the input active until you type. So you can, if you type like this, you can see it keeps the things active until you finish. So once it's done, we are going for login submission button. So what is login submission button? I'll show you. So now, as of now, I'll log in with Pratham, and password I'll give sign in. So once I give sign in, there is no message. It's not giving any message. So still I have already filled, but when you already saw I gave some password, but it is not showing anything. So now once I code this part, it will show me login success. Login success. There should be a message which occurs as successfully logged. So you can see here I'm giving this, and once I give this, I'll save, reload, and I'll come here, I'll reload. Once the reload is done, yes, I'll type Pratham and I'm giving the password. Once password is done, signing in, you can see the success message, how it is showing in your button animation. So this is what we needed, so we are done with that. And then the same thing we need for the sign up page also. In the sign up page we have this. So now we have not created anything, so what I'll do, I'll give some input as Pratham, select, yes, Pratham. See how the color is changing once you enter, it keeps the form active. That's what we defined previously. So Pratham M, create password, and create password, I agree the terms and condition, create account. Nothing is showing. When I click on this, nothing is showing. So we have to keep this also active. So for that we are coming up with sign up form submission. So inside the script, just write this code, that is sign up form submission. Sign up form submission. Yeah, I'll scroll up. You can see this is the sign up form submission. You can note it down. Until then, I'll just explain it to you what will happen. This sign up form includes the password validation. We check if the password match before proceeding, and the loading animation uses the warm up pink color to match the sign up theme, and we create more shapes, 20 extra to the visual impact. The success state uses the same green gradient as login form for consistency. This creates the cohesive experience across the form. Okay, once you are done with this, we have achieved the thing what we needed. So save this, just run this, come back. Okay, this is the login page. So we already saw. We are going to sign up page. We'll add Pratham @gmail.com, username Pratham, create password. Let's type wrong password in confirm password and check create account. You can see password doesn't match. The form is responsive now. Once you give the correct password, let's say I give the correct password, you should get a message stating sign up is successful. You can see the creating account and account created. How the animations is created, this will blow the user mind, and this is what we needed, right? Thank you.